Hi everyone, Shazafat Bless here from TradewithBolu Online Services, and I'll be taking on the weekly analysis for this week. So we'll be starting with the risk warning as our custom is. So trading leverage products such as Forex and derivatives may not be suitable for all investors as they carry a high degree of risk to your capital. Please ensure that you fully understand the risk involved. So you could take a minute, pause this video and ensure that you go through this risk warning properly and that you're fully aware of the risk before proceeding. All right, so you continuing to watch this video is an indication that you fully agree to the terms and conditions as stated above. All right, so we will be starting with the DXY, that's the dollar index, to know the strength and weakness of the dollar, because most of the pairs that we would be trading or analyzing this week are paired to the dollar. All right, so on the previous week you see a nice uptrend, pretty smooth. All right, higher highs and higher lows. So very recently you could see that we had a higher high, very almost very equal to the previous higher high. All right, and there's something we call the BMS, or that's break of market structure. It's taught in our advanced courses and slightly in our professional course. All right, so you could sign up for one of those to get more information about what a BMS is. All right, where it means break of market structure. And as we can see here, we have the last higher high very, very close. It just wicked out the previous higher high a bit. All right, and the previous higher low was recently broken by that same price. All right, so what we're expecting is a retest around this region. All right, then the downtrend continues to like this is to just indicate the beginning of the downtrend, but there are other confirmations that we use before trading the BMS. All right, but that's the general ideology about it. All right, so that's to show you that okay, the dollar is getting weak. All right, and from this was the first indication. All right, dollar is getting weak, and then we're gonna have a reversal right there. All right, so we're expecting a pretty small retracement back to this point before we have a downtrend starting. All right, so let's get to the forex market and see what we have today. Okay, so we'll be analyzing the USDCAD, that's Canadian US dollar against the Canadian dollar. We'll be having the EURJPY, USD, GBPUSD, and USDZAR. All right, so we will be using moving averages today also to be analyzing the ZAR, because they're very training pairs. All right, we'll be analyzing the GBPUSD also today with the moving averages. USD and others are all just the normal distance. So starting with the USDCAD, you can see here that we have a pretty, let me zoom out a bit so you see what I'm talking about here. You can see it's a very trendy pair. All right, so it was a nice uptrend across the 200 this is the 200 moving average, 50 moving average, and 18 exponential moving average. So with 50 exponential also, and a 200 is a simple moving average. All right, so recently you could see a very nice bearish, very impulsive bearish move, and the reason why I use the moving average is to notify you of the very smooth resistance that we have for the moving average. All right, so you can see here that it's constantly testing on the 18 EMA. All right, that's the 18 exponential moving average, and we have a pretty nice bearish move there. So what we're simply expecting is a bounce back to this to the 50 moving average. All right, before continuing, because right now we're surfing the 18 moving average. All right, so if we are going to have a major retracement, it's going to retrace to the 50 moving average before we are sure to take a trade. All right, so I just drew this level so you'll be aware of the current support and resistance that is happening. So this is a okay, yeah, this is support right here. All right, and then the resistance is the moving average. Well, these are the two retracement levels that you'll be expecting. All right, so it's a very, 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 very strong resistance level for the sell trend. All right, so you'll be sure to take note of these two levels. That's why I identify them in red. All right, then I identify them in red. So very important. All right, taking support on the moving average. All right, and then these are the resistances, that's possible retracement points. All right, for the both side. This is the down of the trend, and then this is intermediary, just in between. Okay, so right now we see enjoying the nice sell trend all the way there. There we might have a retracement, a change in trend, or it has a bounce back, or it might just break it and continue. All right, but respecting the moving average, that's why I drew it there, so you can have a clear explanation about that. All right, so moving on to the EURJPY, we have you can see out here is a pretty nice support. All right, a nice resistance that was clearly broken recently because of the impulsive move of the price. All right, so right now we're having this same continuation, all right, all the way to these points. All right, so what we're expecting is just a simple continuation of this impulsive move. It might retrace at some points, all right, back to maybe this level. So let me get the crosshair so you can see that clearer. Maybe to this level. All right, so it might retrace back to this level. All right, then continue. Nothing will ever move straight. All right, so we're going to be having that choppy pattern in the uptrend. All right, so basically we're expecting the pretty nice continuation up to this point or this point, the major resistance. All right, and then there should be a reversal for a sell. All right, so that's basically what we're expecting for the EURJPY. As you can see there, pretty nice impulsive move. All right, so that's what we're expecting for the EURJPY. Moving on to EURUSD, I'll zoom out a bit so you see what I'm saying here. So right now we have the price that actually recently broke off a pretty nice support level, right? Okay, the downtrend was a resistance level. All right, and you could see here this was the resistance, then support, but later it now broke it off, and then that's when it was on the uptrend, then broke it off. Then currently you could see that this support, this very strong level of support, was actually broken off by the price, retested several times now as a resistance, right? And after being retested many times as a resistance, you could see now that that formed the structure for the downtrend. And what I mean by that is that you could zoom in a bit. Okay, sorry. Now that we have this, you can see a pretty nice trend forming up. All right, so it comes, find support here, tested the resistance like a triangle until boom, you see that. So what we have here is simple. We're having a continuation of this trend, as I drew the channel to show you that. All right, a continuation of this trend until it breaks off this channel, and when it breaks off this channel, these are major point of interest, this resistance here, and if it breaks it up, these are major next point of interest here. All right, so right now we're just going to be having a simple continuation of to this, sorry about that, to the simple continuation of this trend to this resistance of the channel, and then back to the support, resistance, support like that until it breaks off this channel. Then these are our next point of interest, and these are our next point of interest, like I said earlier. So that will be all for the USD. Moving on to the GBPUSD. So you could see that on the higher time frame, we have a pretty nice smooth uptrend. All right, so there's something we call the bounce strategy. All right, with TradewithBolu online services, we'll be using the H1 and the 15 minutes. All right, so we're going to call the bounce strategy. All right, and right now we have a bounce entry. All right, which is a buy entry. So basically people, day traders would most likely enjoy this because it's best in their interest. So we're having a pretty nice, you can see how it's been expecting 15 moving average. So we simply go to the H1 time frame, we check if the moving averages are in sequence. So you can see the 200, the 50, the 18 and the 6 moving average all in an uptrend sequence. So that gives us enough confidence, all right, to think of a buy entry on the forex market using the bounce strategy. So right now we can see that also in the 15 minutes there's been a pretty nice respect to the 15 moving average. You can see that, and exactly right now we have a bounce at that point with a Morningstar candlestick pattern showing up. So what we're expecting there is a pretty nice continuation of the trend from there. So these are entry points, but there are other confirmations that we use, of course. If you want to know more, just check up our courses either at TradewithBolu online services for more information about that. Moving on to the next pair, that's the USDZAR. It's a very trendy pair, as you all know it, and there you could see like you can see earlier here, it's pretty nice trending pair, all the way down and up. So currently on the market, all right, this is what we have. It was earlier identified at this point that we're going to have a nice retracement since it broke the market structure. All right, since it broke the market structure here, all right, and the major resistance here. All right, you can see a nice retest, then boom, okay, like that. It was very deep retracement. But what we're simply expecting here, let me zoom in a bit so you can see what we're simply expecting here, all right, is a continuation of this trend. This is a very trendy pair, so even on the daily, you can see that it just tested the 200. All right, it might weak out of it a bit, but you're going to have a pretty nice uptrend. All right, that's what we're expecting there, a pretty nice uptrend, because it's a very trendy pair. Once it takes a trend, we know that it rides that trend for a long time. That's ZAR, USDZAR, well, that's the US dollar against a South African rand. So that's be all for today. I wish you all the best on the forex market this coming week. Thank you very much.